Welcome back to the channel, boxing fans. Today, we have an exciting topic that has been making waves in the boxing community: Shakur Stevenson's recent comments about Gervonta Tank Davis. If you've been following the lightweight division closely, you know that the buzz around these two fighters has been electric and tensions are running high. Stevenson has come forward expressing his frustrations regarding Davis not accepting a fight, and we're here to break down everything you need to know. In a recent interview, Shakur Stevenson didn't hold back when addressing the ongoing speculation about a potential fight with Tank Davis. Fans were left disappointed when a fight between the two didn't materialize, especially since both fighters seemed to be on the lookout for opponents. To many observers, there appeared to be no significant obstacles preventing the bout, which has fans clamoring for action. So what went wrong? Stevenson took the opportunity to address these rumors directly, hitting back at claims that he was ducking the challenge from Tank Davis. "How can you say I ducked him?" Stevenson asked incredulously. "What does that have to do with me if they reached out to me and we reached back and said, 'Yeah, come on'? How could you say I ducked?" His frustration was evident, especially when asked if he was met with radio silence after responding to Davis's team. "Yes," he confirmed. "As far as I know, I never got one offer." "I never got no offer or nothing, that's cap. That's what people make it seem like, but I'm speaking the truth. Let's speak the facts." Before this revelation, Tank Davis's coach, Kenny Ellis, had claimed that Shakur Stevenson had ruined his chances of landing a fight with Tank. He expressed his thoughts on the negotiation, saying, "I don't even want to go back and forth with that. If they're grown men, Shakur could have fought. He's got protective custody, you know how it is." Ellis was adamant that a fight between Stevenson and Tank wouldn't happen if Shakur signed with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. Not if he signed with Matchroom, because they're not going to do that to Shakur, he asserted. Ellis was skeptical about the fight happening before 2025. He's a three-time champion. He doesn't need any more experience or build-up. His name's big enough, everybody wants it. Now anything else is just expletive. If you can't do it now or in 2025, why do it in 2026? When asked about any talks this year, Ellis mentioned that Stevenson got protective custody, referring to a previous interview where he claimed that signing with Matchroom and working with Riyadh Season in Saudi Arabia was preventing the fight from happening. "I don't even want to go back and forth with that. They're grown men. Shakur could have fought. He got protective custody. He didn't have to do that. That's the end of that. But Eddie Hearn has outlined a potential path for Shakur Stevenson to face Gervonta Davis in 2025. He stated, "For me, what we do is go Joe Cordina, William Zepeda, and then Gervonta Davis. Once we've done our work over that 6-month period, Gervonta Davis against Shakur Stevenson will be the biggest fight in boxing. This potential mega fight would feature two undefeated lightweight champions at the peak of their powers. Davis holds the WBA title, while Stevenson possesses the WBC belt." Stevenson expressed confidence that the fight will happen, hinting that it's just a matter of timing. "I know it's going to happen," he stated. "I'm the best, he's the best. When you have two guys that are the best, how can you not fight? The only way you cannot fight is if one of those guys loses or someone takes an L. But I think we're both fighters, and we're really good fighters at that level." He emphasized, "The fight can happen whenever. Both men are ready for it. It can happen next year. Whenever he says, 'Let's fight,' that's when it's going to happen." Stevenson was scheduled to defend his title against Joe Cordina on October 12th, but was forced to pull out due to a hand injury suffered in sparring. He expects to return next February against William Zepeda. Meanwhile, Davis is slated for a fight in late November or December of this year, but has yet to secure an opponent. The anticipation for a showdown between these two fighters is palpable, as a match between Davis and Stevenson would be bigger than almost any other fight in boxing today. Many boxing professionals have weighed in on who they believe would come out on top in this mega fight. Evans Tobler is among those who believe that Davis is the king at 135 pounds. He stated, "Davis is the current face of boxing, and he and his team are doing a great job of keeping him at the top of the division. When asked who he viewed as the best among the lightweight contenders, Tobler asserted, "It's only one, and that's Gervonta Davis. Everybody else is coming up the ladder. I'd like to see him in a fight with Shakur, and then we can really say who's the best. But at this moment, he's the best at 135, and I think he's the face of boxing." Davis is known for his explosive fighting style and impressive track record, boasting 28 knockouts in 30 fights. His fighting style is unique, combining raw power with keen observation and patience to land that one decisive knockout blow. In contrast, elite boxers like Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson have struggled to capture the attention of modern combat sports fans despite being at the championship level. 18-year-old boxing prodigy Kermel Motone, who is part of Floyd Mayweather's stable of fighters, attempted to answer the question about Davis's appeal in a recent interview. The interviewer asked Motone if he felt that to reach superstar status, a boxer must bring knockouts to the table. Motone acknowledged that Davis's boxing style has indeed changed the perception of the sport, but added that knockouts aren't the only factor that makes a boxer a pay-per-view attraction. "I wouldn't say you need to bring a whole bunch of knockouts," he said. "Definitely helps, but you've also got to be a fan favorite and have an exciting style." In an interview with the It Is What It Is podcast, Floyd Mayweather, who guided a significant portion of Tank's career before their bitter split, singled out both stars as the best in the division for different reasons. He noted, "You've got guys fighting between 130, 135, and 160. They're stacked around that area. As of right now, the two biggest punchers at 135 would probably be Gervonta Tank Davis, but the most skillful fighter at 135 would be hands down Shakur Stevenson. Davis has finished all but two of his opponents inside the distance with some of the most well-timed and devastating punches in boxing, while Stevenson has a 45% knockout ratio but boasts the best defense in the sport." When asked if skills are enough to be the best without the power to keep opponents honest, Mayweather answered, "Yes, it's really all about skills." Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He wants to fight the best out there. He added that he hopes to help Stevenson reach the next level in his career. Coach Larry Wade believes that the Davis versus Stevenson fight is too significant to overlook, expressing his preference for Tank if the fight occurs in the future. "I feel like that's too big of a fight for it not to happen," he stated. "If I had to pick someone today, of course, I would pick Gervonta Davis. He has everything, including experience." Stevenson is indeed an extremely talented fighter, and while he is gifted, Wade acknowledges that it will not be an easy fight for either man. "If I had to pick one guy today," he said, "I think Tank has the edge. George Kambosos Jr., a former champion, has no doubt about who would win if the two ever meet. He's even willing to bet big bucks that Davis would get the knockout. I'll bet $1 million he knocks Shakur's teeth out cold," he stated. On the other hand, Claressa Shields, the undisputed women's champion, has called Stevenson